Hey, what's up? It's Firearm Fred here, back again with another video. And today, I wanted to show y'all how to take apart, put back together, but mainly cleaning a Glock, and I'll be cleaning my Glock 43X. And you know what they say, once you've seen a Glock, you've seen them all. And so this basically works with any of the Glock that you might have. And so right here, this is my Glock 43X. It is my carry gun. And so as of right now, as it stands, it is loaded. And so I will show y'all how to take this apart safely, even while it's loaded, and clean it for y'all. Yep. And so like I was saying, it's first things first, safety. This is a loaded firearm we're working with, and so we want to be safe. First thing that I do is I take it out the holster. Always never point a gun at something that does not need to be destroyed at all. It doesn't matter if it's loaded or not. There is one in the chamber, and so you pull the trigger, it'll still go off. And so point somewhere safe, finger off the trigger. So I normally hold it like that. Some people, I've seen people do that, but it just doesn't feel comfortable for me. Whatever works for you, as long as that finger is off the trigger at all times. And so I rack it. There you go. Now it's unloaded, and I'm gonna check again. Boom. Visual check. It is unloaded. And so I put the finger on the trigger. Yet I still, please, please keep your fingers off the trigger. And so, no, that's all I'm trying to say. Please keep the firearm pointed somewhere safe. So I'm not even gonna point it at y'all. And so now it's unloaded. The trigger is locked back, so we know this firearm is safe. And so while I'm taking this apart, let me show y'all. There is this little slide lock release right there. I don't know what you want to call it. Well, it's a slide release. I don't know what you want to call this. It's locking mechanism. Actually, I have this Glock diagram right here that I'm sure it would say, but too much work. And so what I normally do is I use one hand, pull the trigger back, pull the slide back just a little bit till that notch right there just lines up. And I pull this down using both fingers on both sides, and then let it go, and then she just slide right off like that. Easy. And funny thing is, this is what's considered the firearm itself. There's a little piece of plastic with a few metal compartments in there. It's considered the firearm. But as y'all can see right there, I don't know if you can see that at all, but it's a little dirty. I just came from the gun range a little bit ago, and honestly, I don't clean this as much as I should. It's a Glock, so it'll always work. Yeah, it's true, but I try to keep my firearms clean. And while I'm doing that, actually, I want to show y'all the ammo that I carry. So I carry these hollow points. They're Hornady's critical defense, and I mean, I've never had to use it, but I've heard really good reviews. I've seen the ballistics on them, and they work. Honestly, any bullet will work. I don't think it really matters what you use. But hey, we always want to be comfortable and be happy with whatever we use, no matter what. That is step number one. And so I actually took this, I'm gonna put it back together. So the barrel's like that, and then this is the spring right there. And so this is what it starts to look like after you slide it off. This is the barrel and the spring, the slide and everything. And so what I do is I push this back a little bit, pull it out. That's the spring. And then we got the barrel right there, little piece, you know what I'm saying? And then we got the slide. As you can see, look at my finger. Oh my goodness, this is bad. This is bad. And so what I really use is I don't know what we call this, hops, or yeah, hops. Cleaning kit. I bought extra little swabs, patches for that, but it comes with everything you need: the rod, the gun cleaning, everything. So this is gonna be a little hard because I don't have a filmer, and so I'm filming this by myself. Oh my goodness, this thing has spilled. This is just great. Oh my word. Still nothing there for me to clean. Looks like I gotta make a run and get some more soon here, but for now we'll use it. We'll take what we can get. All right. I normally have gloves, but I don't have gloves today. This solution right here, you know, it's even bad for metal. Like it can kill metal, eat it up over time, and so it's not good for that. Not only have a toothbrush. Let me find a toothbrush. I have it. I normally use a toothbrush. Run it through everything and clean it up. And so what I start with is just that. Boom. I don't know if y'all want to see all this. And while I'm cleaning, actually, I was thinking of a story. I have this friend of mine who's paralyzed from the neck down while he was cleaning his gun, and he was telling me, I was talking to him. I met him while he was paralyzed. I was like, "Hey, how'd you get in that, in your wheelchair and you're not really moving anymore?" He's like, "Oh, little gun accident," and he actually shot himself and paralyzed himself from the neck down. And so I was really thinking, like, gosh, like this guy right here, he knows a lot about guns, yet this accident right here still happened. How's that possible? You would think with a guy like that, being familiarized, he's grown up with guns. He had a pretty sweet collection, still does, honestly, and does not blame guns for what happened to him, which is good. And his wife, oh my goodness, bless her soul, she is a strong woman. She is still by his side, and she's still happy somehow, keeps herself happy, which is pretty cool to see. I want to find myself a woman like that. Yes, I am single. Getting some in the mag right there. Let it sit for just a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And then get some more of this, and I'm gonna take the slide and rub this through there as well. Which goes to show you can never be too safe. It doesn't matter how comfortable you are with guns. It doesn't matter how experienced you are, or how sure you are that the gun is unloaded. It does not matter. I will never point a gun. I have this airsoft gun right here. I'll show you. I have this airsoft gun right here, and yeah, it's an airsoft. It's a little break action. I picked the Vortex. Yes, I'm a big fan of Vortex, and no, they don't sponsor me, which is cool. I don't know, maybe hopefully someday, but as of right now, I am I'm a lone wolf. Yeah. You can never be too sure. You just cannot be too sure, or too relaxed when it comes to firearms. They're a tool. Really dangerous tools, that is capable of a lot. If put in either good hands or bad hands, honestly. End of the day, a hammer is a hammer, whether you're using it to break open a bank safe, or using it to put a nail in the wall. It does not matter whose hands it's in. It's a tool, and it's going to be used. It doesn't discriminate. It doesn't matter who you are. A tool is a tool. And it is going to be used regardless whether it's for good or bad. And that's what guns are. And so, like I was saying, just cannot be too sure or too safe. I've never heard anybody say you can never be you're too safe. And if you are, it's usually some punk kids or whatever. And so I wanted to remind everybody of the 4 legendary gun rules, or gun safety gun safety rules. I don't know what you want to call them. Which is keep your finger off the trigger. It's not any kind of order. I don't think there's an order. They're all equally as safe. Maybe the last one. Let's see. Keep your finger off the trigger. Never point the barrel. This is actually the barrel right here, and I have this tool. Push it down there a couple times. Boom, boom, boom. And I've already wiped down the slide with my little trusty toothbrush. Yeah, never point the barrel at something that you don't want to destroy. What's the other one? Finger off the trigger and point at the barrel at something you don't want to destroy. Always know your target and what's behind it. There's a time at scout camp actually where we were shooting, it's little 22s. I'm pretty sure it was a Ruger 1022 or something like that. And I honestly didn't really care much. I was just trying to have fun. I was a little kid, didn't know much at all. And some kids yelled that there was a bunny, like literally just a bunny out there in the back. And it was that serious that the gun instructor there said to hold ceasefire. We're taking a break, and we let the bunny go and whatnot, and presume shooting. Back then I didn't think much about it. I just went about my day and whatnot. Sorry about that. Someone was at the door, but where was I? Keeping your firearm, making sure what is beyond the target as well. Whether that be even in a high stress home invasion, you never know. What if your kid's behind the guy, and there's a lot that's going on with your emotions, everything else. But always do your best, even if you're at the gun range, and whatnot. It doesn't matter, honestly. Just always try to be as safe as possible. And let me see, what have I talked about so far? Keep your finger off the trigger, firearm. Oh, and treat every gun as if it's loaded. Please do that. I also have another story actually. It's actually everything else here is cleaned. Oh, and also this is my holster, right here. And give me a second while I get a little clock. Sorry about that. Yeah, the story I was gonna say was I was a senior in high school, so about 18 years old. I had this friend of mine at work. We were remodeling an apartment complex, and he, we were talking, and eventually I learned that he had an arsenal. He had, he lived in the same apartment complex. Long story. I'm not gonna get into that, but he lived there as well. In one of the apartments that were already remodeled. And so I want to, wipe everything off, make sure that we get as much of that cleaning solution as possible, honestly. I learned that he had his arsenal with him, and I got excited. Like as any young person, or mainly men, but any young person who is into guns would do. And I was like, hey, can I see him? Can I see him, please? And he's like, yeah, of course. I understand why you would say that, because now if my friends learn that I have firearms, I don't go by telling everybody that I have firearms, but if they learn that I have firearms and I trust him, I love to bring him over, and show him what I have. Don't have much, but still, these are my babies, and I'm really proud of what I have so far. And so we go over to his apartment at the time. Use this, run it through. Go over to his apartment during break, and he pulls out all his guns and I'm excited. It was like, oh, dude, no ways. And he had this pistol. I don't even remember what kind of pistol it was, honestly. It was like a Smith or something. But he had two of them, right? And they both had the lights, and they both looked exactly alike, right? Um, and so as I was looking through one of the pistols, I took it, and crazy enough, actually, I didn't know, I wasn't very smart, honestly. Didn't have the proper what knowledge to like the gun safety rules that I just said. And what I did was, I unloaded it and I was playing around with it, and I was pointing it at myself or pointing at other things, honestly, being so reckless. So reckless with a firearm, and I don't think he saw it because he was picking up other guns, and he picks up this AR, and I'm like, oh no, this is crazy. This is just glory. Like, this is heaven on earth right now. And so as he's doing that, as he does that, I'm like, oh, I put the pistol, and I remember there was two of them, right? This is very key to the story. I put it down on the bed where the firearms were, and I'm like, hey, can I see that? Can I see the AR? Let me see the AR, please. And he's like, oh, give me a second. Let me do a few things. And so as he's doing that, I dropped that first pistol, and I picked up the other pistol. I didn't realize that this one I just picked up was loaded. It was the other firearm. And I'm still over here going crazy, doing my thing. I should have noticed that with the weight difference, honestly, but I did not. I wasn't thinking right, like I said. And as I'm swinging around, I pull the trigger. So I violated three rules, right? I put my finger on the trigger. I was pointing the barrel, the muzzle, like they say, in directions that they should not be pointed at. And I assumed the firearm was unloaded. There's also another rule that I learned later on in life, and that is never hand another man a loaded gun. And as much as I can sit here and dog on my friend, he's my friend, and he just was excited, But that's just another rule: never hand another man a loaded firearm. Please don't do it. Just last night, I had a friend over, and she wanted to see my firearms, whatnot, and got excited, whatever. Like, oh, yeah, I used to carry, all this and all that. I don't know if that was true or not, but let's just say that she she had her finger on the trigger. Yes, I unloaded the weapon. I had finger on the trigger, pointing at people, and whatnot. It wasn't a good situation, honestly, and I try to talk to him. There's a fine line, or I remember there's a fine line between telling someone like, hey, I don't know about all that, without them getting offended, right? And saying, oh, and being defensive and whatnot. Oh yeah, I know it's unloaded. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So I was like, hey, just, careful, nonchalantly, but tell them like the rules, as chill as possible, and yet being serious. That it's a serious matter. I mean, if they don't learn from me, someday something will happen, and I won't be around, and I want to help that out as much as possible while I can. And so right now everything is cleaned, and so what I normally do is where is the swabs? I use these swabs right here to go down the barrel with, and I changed these out. Actually, I used to have another thing right here, but I think I lost it. Doesn't matter, this will work still. Just dropped it. And so yeah, the firearm went off in that room, and we were all terrified. We were like, whoa, that did not just happen, That did not just happen. That's crazy that just happened, but we're gonna. He did the right thing, luckily nobody was hurt. Thank goodness nobody was hurt, honestly. Um, and put his firearms away and was like, all right, like we're done here. Um, let's calm down for a little bit. And stress levels were pretty high on both parties, myself included. I mean, I could have killed him, could have might have not been here today, honestly. And somehow, some way, God was there, I guess, and I was watching over both of us. And so yeah, it's just my little stories. I have a lot of them, and as his YouTube channel continues to grow, we'll learn more about each other. Your comments and whatnot. And so yeah, everything right now is pretty clean. So what I like to do after that is just put oil on like the slides, everything else. I like to overflow it at first, and then go back down and wipe things down a little bit. But the metal compartments mainly I like to focus on because that's what really gets most of the abuse. Slides, all this right here. Triggers. And I always make sure the spring is well taken care of, honestly. Like, the spring does a lot. Honestly, every single compartment does a lot, but the spring is very important as well. So, and the barrel a little bit, just some over there, over there, over there, down there. So what I do is start putting it back together. Where's the slide? Oh, there it is. That was missing something. So I run oil down that whole thing. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Oil everywhere in there. Sorry, this is a little messy, but we gotta make do with what we have so far. I put everything together again, so I'm gonna show y'all. So what I do is I run the barrel right through there. Boom. Pretty easy. Take the spring. Make sure the black side is facing outward towards that second hole right there, as you can see. And I slide it between. I always put it down the second groove, honestly, and I think that's I know that's where it goes. There's literally a diagram right in front of me, and so what you really do is just slide it back, put it back in there like that. And if you can see, yeah, and look at that. I didn't even notice this, but look at where my finger is. Still off the trigger, even though it's it's a little plastic thing right now. Still keep the finger off the trigger no matter what. So I do that a little bit, get the oils running through it. And so now it's oiled up. It's oiled up, pretty much ready to clean. And then I go around and wipe some excess oil. And make sure you're watching me as I am keeping that barrel pointing a certain direction. I'll never point at my face or anything else that I do not want to destroy. I was talking about that. Sometimes I carry in the front work position, facing my my baby makers, and that is very scary. Even though I know it probably won't go off, it's so very scary, honestly, and which is a good thing that I'm scared. Even though I'm sure that I'll be good, but I'm always careful no matter what. I take it apart again, and this time I'm kind of just, oh my gosh. Take it apart again, and then now I'm just kind of I'm gonna wipe the excess oil off of everything because it's gonna be very sticky and greasy everywhere. Some people like to put oil on the barrels. I don't really care much for that, honestly. Actually, you know what? I probably should. Is there a hot bullet that goes through there? And kind of, I kind of want to do that. There's a projectile that goes through there that's very hot and fast and whatnot, and the barrel does I mean, it's a subcompact handgun, and so it already is not as accurate. Well, it is accurate, as probably the handler, I would say. And I'm not a very accurate shooter. Working on it. That's why practice is important when it comes to firearms. And so anything helps to dirty barrel will not help. Well, yeah, it does not help. Might not make things all that worse, but it helps. And there you have it, honestly. That's good to go. Type this down a little bit more. So yeah, put it back together. And I normally put some lube down my magazine as well. But I won't bore you with that. Just keep everything going well. Okay, it's sitting in place. Nothing should be moving around. There you have the barrel right there. And then get back together. Boom, it's ready to go. And so there you have it. That's how I clean my handgun. It is unloaded. Yes, boom. There you have it. And she's ready to go again. Luckily, actually, there's a couple stories, a lot of stories that I have for y'all. But today, that is it. Thank y'all very much for joining me. For the support. Last video, I honestly did not think I was gonna get that many views, and y'all crushed it. Family, friends, or random YouTubers or random guys just hopped on YouTube and saw me. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what kind of videos y'all want to see. I will be going through my other guns as well and cleaning them, showing y'all how I do everything. And soon enough we'll take you to the range. I was actually at the range just yesterday. A lot of fun. And so yeah, that's it for today. Thank you for the support. See you all next time. Peace.